what did we just discuss here? We said the idea of Crosby getting 100 points, Rutger McGroarty battling for the Calder Trophy, Evgeny Malkin being a point per game, and Erik Karlsson putting up 70 points. You can't have those. You can't have those four things happen and the Penguins not be a playoff team.
Fair.
So the bold prediction here is, assuming all goes well, got to worry about goaltending a bit, but assuming all goes well, and this team already looks like a much, I don't want to say much, looks like an improved team, a step, taking steps in the right direction. They didn't miss the playoffs by too much in the last 2 years. Bold prediction is that this team can make their way back in. Again, it's the Penguins. That's not overly bold. They should be a playoff team. But if you consider the fact they missed the last 2 years, suddenly just saying the Penguins are a playoff team can become a pretty bold prediction, especially with how good the Atlantic is looking.
Yeah.
Not so much the Metro, but how good the Atlantic is looking. The Penguins might need to be a top 3 team to make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, and that's a tough hill to climb because, I mean, you look at the top 3 in the Metropolitan Division, New York, New Jersey, and Carolina.
And those teams, people aren't hot on Carolina right now either, though.
They aren't, but they're higher on Carolina than they are on Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and I think that's where I can say it gets a little bold because when you look around the league, not many people are penciling in the Penguins as a playoff team. A lot of people, myself included, say, yeah, they're about a bubble playoff team. But if you believe in them to make the playoffs, one of the predictions that I kind of tossed around was the Penguins might make the playoffs as a wild card team and then take down one of the division winners in the first round.
There you go.
I mean, I didn't go with it because, again, I continue to say every single year, and I've said it every single year of the podcast, I will believe it when I see it, and that's them winning another playoff series because they haven't done it in so long. I'm not going to predict them to win a playoff series until I can see them get over the hump because it's for one reason or another. They've outplayed teams. They outplayed the Islanders the second time they played them. It was just Tristan Jarry was awful. They outplayed the Rangers in 2022. It's just Louis Domingue and no Sidney Crosby. So there's always been reasons. So until I see it, until I see them get back over that hump, I don't need them to win a Stanley Cup to pick them. If they win one series, I will feel much more comfortable looking at them and saying, at the very least, I know they have it in them to get to hockey handshakes on the right side of things. Because they had a 3-1 series lead in 2022. No matter who was in net, a 3-1 series lead, blowing that, it creates a lot of doubt, especially when you add that onto the fact that they haven't won a playoff series since 2018 against the Philadelphia Flyers. So, again, that's not my bold prediction. It's something I thought about, but I will continue to do the same thing I've done for the last couple of seasons and say I'm not going to predict them to win a playoff series until I see them actually do it with my eyes again. So
they had a 3-1 series lead over the goalie who's about to become the highest paid goalie in NHL history.
Yeah, they were embarrassing Shesterkin in that series.
The Penguins win that series. Who knows what happened? I mean, it's a long ripple effect. He might not be making that kind of money.
Well, he might not be making that kind of money. Imagine what happens to the Penguins if they win that series, because it was after that playoffs that Ron Hextall really went off the deep end. The Marino trade, the Matheson trade. We don't need to go back into the highlights of that offseason because they were very bad and they turned out poorly for the Pittsburgh Penguins. But it's been a minute since they've won, right? Yeah. I mean, it was Jake Gensel's second season the last time they won a playoff series.
4 goals against the Flyers
in one game. Yes.
Yeah.
So, you're predicting them to make the playoffs. I like it. I want to see it. We need playoff hockey back in Pittsburgh because it has been a long time. And honestly, I think the NHL sorely wants Sidney Crosby back in the playoffs as well.